Please be in focus. Boo. Okay, hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm new to BookTube. So today I thought I'd make a video about Halloween, about horror. It is one of my favorite holidays of the entire year, hence this low-key pseudo Morticia Addams costume I've got going on. Is it working? I don't think so, but I thought I'd make a video about 5 books that scared me as a kid. So if you guys recognize a book or if it also scared you as a kid, please let me know in the comments below, and I hope to hear from you so we can talk about how our childhood is scarred by books. This is Encyclopedia Horrifica, and let me tell you, as a kid, it scared me. This book is by Joshua Gee. It's not technically like a narrative book, I guess, so I don't know if I should include this in the list, but it definitely kept me up many a night. There's a section, it's called Test Yourself for ESP, and it has this little thing right here where you can test if you have like telekinesis or like mind powers, and I remember always trying to, you know, see if I would get a high score, to see if I was psychic, but I wasn't. This part creeped me out. It was called To Catch a Ghost. Activate infrared scanners, the hunt is on. And it's basically these paranormal investigators, and they're trying to catch a ghost. But the part that really creeped me out was Thomas Edison being mentioned over here, because he said that he was working on a device to communicate with the next world, according to an October 1920 issue of the American magazine. And that freaked me out because Thomas Edison was somebody I recognized, somebody I knew. I was like, oh, then ghosts must be real if Thomas Edison is looking for them, right? But yeah, that's where my mind went. They have alien sections about UFOs, and this is, I think, one of the first times I actually read UFO conspiracy theories, and I learned about it more. That's basically everything you would want to know about supernatural world. Vampires. I think the first version I read of Dracula was an abridged version. So I read the abridged and then I read the regular version later. But the thing that always freaked me out about Dracula was the whole staking thing. It wasn't necessarily the vampires, but that was a component. But the main thing for me in my like little kid brain was I didn't want to get staked, and I didn't want to be accidentally staked. Like, I didn't want them to accidentally stake me because they thought I was a vampire. Yeah. And I think I was so terrified of being staked, well, not actually being a vampire, was because there's this part of the book where this female character gets staked. And I don't know why, I was like, whoa, I'm a female, I could get staked. But honestly, the fear of vampires would go down because then I would go get these babies and be obsessed with vampires. From ages like 13 to like 18, I still like vampires and never really left. But yeah, thanks Bram Stoker for scaring me so bad when I was a kid, because I still like vampires, I guess. Scary stories to tell in the dark. Let's talk about these books. There was more than one book. They were a series of really scary books with really creepy pictures, and everybody I knew was terrified of them. There's 3 scary story books, but the one that always scared me and always scared everybody in my school the most, I think, would be the first one, because it had the creepiest cover, and I think part of the reason why they were so terrifying is the artwork is legitimately like scary, spooky, especially for like elementary age kids. And I bought that book at the Scholastic Fair too, but I couldn't find it. I've been looking for it and it's lost, so maybe it'll pop up somewhere, maybe in the middle of the night. But I'm trying to find it though, because it's a really good book, and the thing with scary stories, if you guys aren't familiar with it, is that it draws from urban legends and urban folklore, and it writes it, I guess, in a simplified manner, that kids can understand. It's very quick, easy read. I think it's like less than probably 150 pages long, maybe. I'm not really sure the exact number, but it's a short read, and it's short stories. It's like an anthology kind of thing. And one of my favorite ones from the entire one, or the one that stood out for me the most, is actually a pretty common urban legend, and it's the one it's called The Hook. And if you guys probably know the legend of The Hook, it's the one where the hook on the car. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then that's awkward, but it's really easy to find. Goosebumps. So the Goosebumps book that terrified me the most was actually gifted to me because I won this contest in elementary school and I got to pick my own gift, and this book was one of them. And this is actually the very first Goosebumps book in the Goosebumps series, and it's called Welcome to Dead House. A new family move in, it's 2 kids and the mom and dad plus dog, a very nuclear family. And dad, mom don't want to admit something's, or don't realize something weird's going on, but kids obviously, you know, find and see weird happenings going around town, so they're immediately kind of spooked. But yeah, it does play on a lot of pretty common tropes, I think. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like rereading the plot summary here on my computer, I realized that American Horror Story Murder House and this book have a lot of similarities now that I'm actually thinking about it. So I don't know if there was some weird, I don't know if there's inspiration there, murder house, dead house, but something to think about. I mean, one of the things I think R.L. Stine does so good is play into the children's psyche, or play into your children's mind, and really try to hone in on what the fears of a child really are, because that was his target audience, and to scare them, but not to the degree that they wouldn't want to come back and read the book. And I think that's always something that as a child you think, you know, that your parents never listened to you, and these are those fears, I guess, dramatized and expanded on like ginormously, but it's kind of the same theme, I guess you can say. I think with the double plot twist thing, as a kid, I think that was super effective, because you don't really read that type of book in children's, or type of plot twistiness in children's literature, I guess, in elementary school, where you think it's going to be one ending, but then it's a different one, but then it's a different one. I know there's just so many other Goosebumps books that are kind of cult classics in terms of scaring kids the most, like Night of the Living Dummy and all of its subsequent sequels, and Say Cheese and Die. But for me, The Dead House, being as it was the very first Goosebumps books, and it was the first real Goosebumps book that I was invested into, the characters, really for me was the scariest one. This one, I also own the book, I just can't find it, but I do have this Roald Dahl treasury thing, and it has an extract from it, and it's The Witches by Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl is actually one of my very favorite authors in the world. I love the way he writes and how he engages his audience. So The Witches, for me, I read it. It was assigned reading in 4th grade. Read it for class, and it's another one of those books that the drawings really creep me out, which is kind of weird because in the other books of his that I've read, the drawings never really scared me or made me think that they were creepy, but in The Witches for me looked terrifying. What I mean by engaging his audience is that he just fills the world so fast and so quick that you're immediately thrown into it, and it just becomes your reality for that time span that you're reading the book. And I think the extract, I'm so happy the extract that's in the book is one of the creepiest chapters for me, and it's how to recognize a witch. That's the thing, that the grandmother would be telling her grandson how to identify it, but how identify the witch. Like, even with that knowledge, you would never be certain. There could be so many other things that could also explain a person wearing gloves, or a person, wearing a wig. This is what I wanted to show you. It's called it's a picture drawing of how to recognize a witch, and I really hope I'm putting this right, but I took this to heart. I would try to identify witches in real life. the detail that goes into it. I think all of the books that I chose actually kind of have common themes. Putting trust in somebody that you believe should have that trust and then having that turn out to not be the right decision. I think a lot of it is about trusting your own gut. Children's horror, I think at a glance, you would think it'd be simple because kids could be easily scared. To really make an impact, it has to be a little bit deeper, a little more psychological, I feel. And I think as an adult, those are definitely themes that I still look in books today that deal with those larger concepts. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed this video. And if you'd like to see things like this and more, I hope you comment and subscribe, and I'll try to check out your guys' channel as well. Bye!